Well, hello there, world. My name is Tony, and this is TonyLiveTV. And in this video, I'm going to test all the vacuum elements in the 560 SL, as well as replace one of them. I have a link to this project in the description down below. It includes every single part number and everything that you're going to need to complete this job. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into this. Those two look good, but that one does not. Now, it's been said that this cannot be replaced without taking the dash out, because you have to take this pin out, and it's like a big giant rivet basically. If you look at the other side of that, that's what you'll find. And you can test your vent. See, and you can hear that it's working up inside there. And it's the same thing you can do with these other ones. You can reach up on top of these as well from the other side there. Me holding the camera at the same time, and then you can push on that and make sure that that vent is free. You can hear it. And then I'll vacuum test them to make sure they work. And then you've got the ones on the other side. Inside of your glove box, right back there, you've got two more. This one here, I believe people have changed those without taking the whole entire dash out. And you can probably do these on that side. So the first thing I'm going to do is just completely disassemble this while it's in here. Got them both, yeah! I just kept twisting and twisting and twisting, and that came right out. So before I install a new one of those, I want to check those. We should check to make sure that they're functioning properly. So I need to disconnect that red vacuum line, and we'll test it. Let's hook that up to the vacuum pump. Look up there and you can see if it moves. I've already made sure that it's free. You can see it. And it's holding 20. Looking good. I'll show you. So there you go. All right. I disconnected the blue line, which is the one that is the suction line. And now I'm going to pull a vacuum. You can see the thing pulling. And then she holds right about there, and it holds. See if I can show you. You can see that thing worked. Right down there is a vacuum line that is yellow, right? Got a yellow stripe and goes down to that center vent. And I disconnected it from there, and it doesn't hold a vacuum. It started to hold a vacuum, just a very little amount of vacuum, and then it just gave up, and it won't pull a vacuum. So right now that's going to get plugged. All right, so I'm on the passenger side. We've already tested 42 and 43, so we've tested those 4. We purchased a 38. 40 tested bad, and now 39. You can't see 39 or 40. 40A, I guess they call it. You can't see either one of those. Like I said, the other one doesn't hold a vacuum, and now I'm testing 39. The only way you can test 39 is you have to come over here to this Y34, which is, this junction box in the back here. And the only way that I can really get, it's back there. That's all I can see. You can just follow these lines right there. You can follow them in, and it's back there. I pulled off that number 1. All right. And then I connected it right here. My pump. Ooh, look at that. 15. There's 20. And it holds, so that's good. I don't hear it though. So if I listen, I'm not hearing anything as far as flaps opening or anything. But right now it looks like I said, the vent pods, the ones on the left and right, they work. And number 38 is new. It will be working. And 39 seems to be working. So we only have the 1. And I'm just going to make sure that that vent is open. That's how I'm going to solve that problem. If I decide to change the evaporator or something like that, then I'll go ahead and I'll change that pod. So how am I going to make sure that that center vent stays open? It's actually quite simple to do. That is a rubber boot. You can just pop that right off, and then all you do is stick in a rubber hose or anything, really, just anything to keep it open. Preferably something that's not going to rattle, right? You want something that's nice, like this rubber hose. That's what the previous guy did, is they did it right from the glove box side. They just popped off that rubber boot and reached in there and stuck that in, and that's it. That is the way that you keep that center vent open. Now, let's concentrate on this. Let me show you my little idea for that. The first thing we need to do is we need to disconnect this one right here. That's kind of got like a little yellow stripe to it. The blue one we keep still connected. And then this other side's going to connect to the pod. So this one we need to disconnect and plug. The one with the yellow stripe. That's the one that comes up into this cluster up here. Otherwise, you're going to have a vacuum leak. So that's the one we're going to end up plugging up, okay? That's step 1. So this is to document it for the guy that gets my car. Yeah, I'm either going to die or sell it. And what I did, you see this? I just put a nut there, or a screw on the end there, and I did the same thing to the other side. See, so they both have the exact same end. Either they watch my video and know that, or you just figure it out on your own. So here's the pod. And the rubber washers and those push nuts, whatever you want to call it. And this is that pin that I twisted off earlier in the video. To attach this, you could really be just as simple as this. Just a wire tie. Or what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to take this, a washer here, through this, like that, another washer, and then the push pin. Now, the hose that hooks up onto the bottom of your actuator is the one that's going to have a white line on it. Right now, I identified it using that when I unplugged it. So that's how you would hook it up. That's that blue line. Can you tell that that's blue? I think you can. The blue one comes up that way. That other one that's got that stem on it that I put on it, that's the one that would go to that center vent. And there's that one. And then there's that one with the white line. That's the one that goes up to the bottom. So that is how I hooked it up. Now I'll install it. All right. that pod is installed, and let me show you how I put that push nut on there, is I just used this surgical tubing like this, and then I stuck it there on the end so I could hold it, and then I can brace up against the back side of this, and then just push this on just like that. I mean, that's how I did it. I don't know if this is the best way to go. I feel like, I don't know, maybe a nylock type nut would be better. But I checked it to make sure that it clears everything and all that. So for now, that's how I'm going to do it. But we're not done yet. Let's go over to the glove box. You see this hose? That hose connects to that hose. Do you guys know what that is? That used to look like this. I'll have a link to this in the project, of course. And I cut this at 10.5 inches long. So we'll see how that works out. What connects the two is that foam that I just showed you. All right, so this is from the glove box. You can do this all from the glove box. And I measured it, it's around 10 inches or so. This thing moves a little bit, so it has room. But that's how it works. So that's what I got to do. I have to connect those two together with that hose. Well, this is what it looks like after I've installed that tube. And I went ahead and used a wire tie on this one end just to make sure, it fits on pretty tight actually. So now that we've taken care of that and we put in the pod and we've blocked that one line, I think we better test the entire system, and to do that, we go to the front of the vehicle, right back over to this area. What I want to do here is, this is the vacuum line right here that goes from the right rear of the engine. Let's take it off here and do a vacuum test on this. Well, you can see it's not holding. So let's figure out what the problem is. So let's test this one. This gray line is the one that goes to your economy gauge. Oh, you can see this one works. There it is. And it holds. So that's good. Let's take out this center one. Ooh, did you hear that? That's because this here is a check valve. It's doing its job. Well, this one takes a lot of pumping, and the reason is because this. But you can see it all holds, no problem. It just takes a lot more vacuum, a lot more pumping, but you can see it holds just fine. Let's see about this outside one. I think this is for all those actuators. Oh yeah, that works just fine, as you can see, and it holds. So that's not it. I believe the problem is this. There is a small crack I saw in there. This is the new one, supposedly. While this may indeed be the right check valve, the problem is not the check valve. The problem is this rubber piece. It comes right off. It doesn't really do anything at all. So it's leaking right here. You can see how loose that is. So the problem is this. The check valve works just great. I've already checked that. And I also pulled this off and ran a vacuum. So everything is working exactly the way it's supposed to work, except that it's leaking out of here. Does that look like the right one to you? How would this one go all the way towards the back? This is just over time, I'm guessing, because this is correct. There's the part number for that. So this thing's just going to bend like that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There it is. And she's holding really steady, right? Looks good. All right. So that works. Nice to see it come together, right? Very good. Well, I think that pretty much wraps this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't that difficult to do, at least this. If you have to change that center pod or that bottom leg room vent, boy, you're gonna have to take everything apart, and that's something that I don't wanna do, and that's the reason why I stuck that pipe in that center vent. It's gonna work just fine. I see no reason to go through all that trouble for that center vent. And I think you'll all agree with that. So that's it. Thanks again for watching.